I think of it back now, it's a shadow. I know it's there, I know it happened, I know it's real. There's a good chance you're not coming back. I mean, fairly good chance you're not coming back. I spent my 70th birthday in the front line trenches.
World War I. 70 million soldiers and officers participated in this war. Those men had no idea what lied ahead of them. 10 million people were killed in this war, 15 million injured, and 3.3 million were held prisoner. This was thought to be the war to end all wars. The Black Hand Group, located in Serbia, officially started World War I. This group had killed the heir to the Austria-Hungary throne. This engaged these two countries in war. The Black Hand Group was Serbia's nationalist secret society. Austria accused Serbia of being involved with the Black Hand Group. Austria crushed all nationalist movements, isolating Austrian influence in the Balkans. Austria gave Serbia an ultimatum or else there would be blood. Germany was dragged into the war by Austrian-Hungarian Empire due to their alliance. Russia was thrown into it because of an alliance with Serbia. France was brought into it with a treaty with Russia. Britain was allies with France, also bringing in its colonies Australia, India, Canada, and South Africa. Japan was in a military agreement with Britain. Italy was not involved because of peace treaties with Austria and Germany. Our dugout is about 10 yards from the first piece, a descending 1.5 foot wide trench leading into it. A 10-foot wide trench, 25 feet long, into which one stumbles, arched over heavy corrugated iron. A 2-layer framework holds chicken wire beds for 4 above and 4 below in pairs lengthwise, with a table near entrance for a telephone. Rain seeps through the sidewalls and makes a canal of the little passageway along the side of the bunks. Walker and I sleep on adjoining bunks with our blankets and shelter tents halves for cover. And other men above, coats, mess, kits, masks, helmets, slickers, barrack bags, and saddlebags are on the earth floor or hung above on the bed frames. The first real chemical weapon used in tear gas is that in the worst case causes blindness. Then the German army started using chlorine gases. The Germans started using it on the French. The gases destroyed the respiratory organs that caused a slow and painful death. Gases were not completely useful. To use them, weather conditions had to be perfect. And the British found out the hard way on September 25, 1915 at the Battle of Loos. The gas blew back on the British soldiers, causing more deaths on the British side than the German side. Later on in the war, the gas was put in artillery shells that were then fired from a farther distance. Later on in the war, the Allied forces started producing and wearing gas masks to prevent exposure to the gases. In trench warfare, it was extremely difficult to move to the enemy trenches. First, you risked getting shot, but then the no man's land had barbed wire and other obstacles, and then the wet, muddy conditions made any vehicle with wheels get stuck. And the threat of machine gun nests would kill thousands, so Colonel Ernest Swanton wrote the Caterpillar Tractor Company looking if they could build an armored vehicle. The tracks on the vehicle kept it from getting stuck. When the tanks were built, they had a top speed of 4 miles per hour and could cross any 8-foot trench and go over any barbed wire. The first tank built was by the British. It held a 3-man crew, 2 machine guns, and 2 2-pound guns. And then the French built a smaller tank with only a 2-man crew and only 1 gun. But the gun could pivot and help make the tank lighter than any other one, also making it faster. The use of aircraft in World War I was first used to shoot down balloons, but then quickly war turned to the skies. At the beginning of the war, 2-seater planes were used. It was the job of the observer to use a revolver, rifle, or hand grenade against the enemy plane. Soon after, single-seater planes were invented with machine guns on the front. But the problem was the machine gun would shoot holes in the propeller. So Roland Garros would create deflector plates to allow the planes to fire through the propeller. Later, as an addition to these plates, Anthony Fokker and his team began to work on a system allowing planes to have forward-firing machine guns that were synchronized with the propellers. A cam was placed on the crankshaft of the engine and was in line with each propeller blade. Whenever a blade was at the position where it might be hit by the gun, the cam activated a push rod to stop the gun from firing. This device was placed on many German planes. This gave them a big advantage until Allied planes began using them in 1960.
You see them up there fighting? Never fun for people shooting each other, but such as it was a show of its own, like a bullfight in Mexico, I guess.
Machine guns were used in World War I, and they were useful when only left in one spot. The guns were very heavy, and they required a three-man crew. The guns had to be water-cooled, and one soldier had to watch the temperatures of the gun. Another man had to shoot the gun, and another had to reload the gun and make sure the gun was firing well. The gun was around 50 pounds, and also the tripod weighing in around 75 pounds.
Going over the top, shelpers, you're buried in muck. When they dig you out, you've got another face looking at you. You see? And that face hasn't got a body. You might have somebody's leg round your neck or something like that. It's best forgotten.